I am so thrilled to win the Readings Young Adult Book Prize. It is such an incredible honour. Thank you so much to Readings and to Mark Rubbo, who funded this prize. You have really given me a huge boost. This really boosts my confidence as a writer. It was astonishing to me that of all the many, many books published in the last year, that Future Girl should be selected as the winner. With Future Girl, I wrote the book I wanted to read. I wanted Piper, the main character, to be deaf because I have read very few books about deaf people, and I found those that I have read to be disappointing. Often, the characters didn't represent true, authentic deaf experience. But when I opened my computer to get started, I realised I didn't know how to write about deafness. It was such an ordinary part of my everyday experience. I realised I would need to pay more attention to my deafness. So I started to note down my experiences of deafness every day in my journal. From this, I realised that all day, every day, I was making decisions about how to handle my deafness. And I had never actually stopped to think about my choices. Here's an example. I'm standing with a group of hearing people who are laughing. But I have no idea what they're laughing about. Should I laugh along to be friendly? If I do, does that mean I'm somehow lying about having understood? Or should I stand there with a stony face and risk seeming rude and unfriendly? I realised that my default position was to laugh along. But was that helpful? It gave people the false impression that I had understood. It told them, keep going, keep joking at this speed. And no need to make the joke clear to me. Is that really what I wanted? The result was more exclusion, more confusion. If I changed my approach and didn't laugh, but instead interrupted with the question, what's so funny? Would that result in something better for me? In Future Girl, I showed Piper dealing with many of these situations and gave the reader an insight into what goes on in her head as she battles with her own choices about how to respond. Deaf readers have emailed me to tell me their huge relief, how validating it is to read about their own experiences on the page at last. Hearing people have told me they had no idea about the challenges we face and thank me for enlightening them. I'm really rapt the book has impacted so many people in such a valuable way. I never thought of myself as a particularly brilliant writer, and it's rather shocking to me to see my book win this prize. I wrote it from scratch 5 times, and it took 8 years. With each time I wrote it, I improved my writing. One of the best pieces of advice I received was from Margot Lanigan, whose books I love, who said that when she writes, in her first draft, she simply tells everything that the narrator is feeling. But in subsequent drafts, she goes through and thinks about how she can show each emotion, making changes and improvements. By working in this incremental way, she gets to be loose and free in her first draft, but still end up with something terrific at the end. It seems following this process has worked for me too. I'm now thinking about my next book and doing some research and making plans. I'm thinking it might be about a female prime minister. But I haven't quite decided yet. In the meantime, I'm pretty busy painting for an exhibition in September, composing music for Midsummer Festival 2022, and having very exciting early talks with a film company about making a film series of Future Girl. Anyway, the best thing for me about winning this award is knowing that more people are likely to read Future Girl, and that the world might be a slightly better place for deaf people as a result. Thank you.